Hmm. Hello, Jamie. And hello, Devi. I had caps on. Whoopies. Hi, Ane. Hi, MK. Hi, Squee. Hi, Hot Bucket. It is Squid School. Hi, Go Away Monday. It's not Monday anymore. You always do come to the Tuesday streams. It's very thematic. Hi, Manofanta. Hi, Dr. Pika. Hi, Giovanni. Hi, Nyla. How do I join? So the stream today is a lesson for a couple of players who have signed up ahead of time. If you do want to sign up and be able to play with, be able to play with me on stream for an hour and then get a private lesson that we'll do on stream, like we're going to do today, then you can go to the Discord server and DM me about it, and we can get you scheduled for it. Right now, there isn't a really long line. Like, I think you can get in for the very next week, the very next Tuesday right now. So if that is a thing you're interested in, then definitely reach out. Hi, James Wood, and hello, Shaluna. Hi, King Julian. Gem, help people like me, and I don't know what to do now. Enjoy it. Get a really big head about it and have way too big of an ego. That's a really important part. Hi, Pukas. Gem, oh my god, it's been so long. Has it? Hi. Welcome back. Hi, Buddy Link. Hello, Sammy Kid. Hi, Phantomu. Phantomu hasn't jump scared in too long. Ah! Welcome. Hi, Toxa Peach. Hi, the Spelunker. Hi, Little Crazy Crafter. Hi, Diamond Star. Hi, Aelinor. Hi, Wolfie. Hello, Umami Bites. Hello, Corn. Hello, Mothman. It's Gem from Squid School. It's Mothman from YouTube. Hi, Borkhammer 40k. Hi, Charvy Snatcher. Monsieur Squid School? Yes. I'm not a French speaker. You could tell. Oh, Devi only just saw the picture and announcements. Was that really loud for you guys? That was like way louder than usual for me. I probably just have my volume turned up too high. That's probably what it was. Sell merchandise? Maybe I should try that at some point. I am looking for avenues for monetization at the moment. I would like to be doing more than breaking even at some point here. You're the best, Gem. Have a great stream. Oh, thank you, Reed. Reed Wallen. I'm assuming that's just Reed. I don't know. Hello, Pizzicato from New Jersey. Hello, Technology Sam. Hi, Cinema Busters. 2 live streams back to back. Oh yeah, I guess Misguided Comp Monday, and then yeah, makes sense. Hello, Alyssa. Hi, Mad Walker-y. Walker-I? I don't know. Octopus Academy when? Not alliterative enough. Find me a cephalopod with a name that's alliterative, and then sure. Hi, Zeph. Little Squid School keychains. All right, my brain juices are going. Hi, the gaming animator. And hi, Misk. Is that miscellaneous Eris? Miss Eris? Okay, maybe that's the pun. And we've got a hail from Brooklyn, too. The whole East Coast, all two entire people from the East Coast are here to observe. Welcome. Hi, Cosmic Nova. Hi, Sapphire Cross Ain't. No exclamation mark. Today must be boring. Yes, it's going to be very, very boring. Anyway, I've got Greg in the chat here. Greg is muted at the moment. They're welcome to stay muted if they would like, if that's where they're more comfortable, but they are in the call now. And Greg, we are live on stream.
Hello, hello,
hello. Hello. And we have one more VOD reviewee, goes by Pink Lemonade on Discord. They have not made it in here yet. I'm pretty sure I did send them the message. Yeah, I did. And we've got replay codes from them that they just sent me like 10 minutes ago. So they should be around once we're ready for that. But for the time being, let's get started. I did send you the pool, and I sent you the password, and I am sending out an invite now.
Okay.
So hopefully you should be able to see that pretty soon.
Yeah. Got it.
Can't stay for the stream, but hope it's great. Thanks for stopping by, Cone. Octology. We're working on it. Hello, Leon. Eleanor asks, how do I book one? I'm struggling a lot, but I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong. Just go to the Discord server, which you can find here, and DM me. I should be at the very top right, because I have the biggest role in the entire server, for understandable reasons, I would think. And yes, Devi, we will need at least one person. We might also need Jamie, depending on how long it takes Pink Lemonade to respond. Eleanor, the way for us to have the lesson would be over Discord. Like, that's the way that I can share my screen with you. That's the way that I can speak to you about it. It's a lot more difficult, especially to do the one on stream otherwise. There is one way, which would be a replay review, which we can do using my Metafy. But that also, I prefer to do them live, number one, so that you can ask questions, but number two, because it's less convenient for me to have to be able to go back and, like, VOD review in text. It takes longer to do it that way. So those, I actually charge more on Metafy for the replay reviews than I do for the in-person ones, just for the convenience of it all. So, like, if the Tuesdays don't work and, like, we don't want Metafy, sorry, we don't want to use Discord, there is always Metafy, but Metafy costs, and these ones are free. Discord is the way that we do them, so. There are probably some other ways, like, I get, there's probably a way to do it through Zoom if you've got a Zoom account, except I don't have one that wouldn't cut the call off in 40 minutes, it's kind of awkward, so. Discord's just the best solution. Alright, so we've got Devi. I'm checking Discord to see if we've got anything from... No, we don't. Okay. So, Jamie, if you want to step in until we get word back from Pink Lemonade, that would be fine. Pukas, I don't charge for the ones on Tuesdays specifically. So for those two slots that are available, these ones are free. Any other time of day or anything that's not live, that I do charge for. All right. So is that a team tag that I see there?
Yeah.
Awesome. So
It's-
we're.
alright.
Oh right. You said that you were considering recording the call-outs and everything. But,
Yeah, we were supposed to have practice yesterday, but we ended up having a big power outage for one of the guys who was kind of in charge of recording it and stuff like that. So, unfortunately, no go.
Oh, well.
But yeah.
We'll still be able to talk about a lot. Just there are some aspects of like the communication that I might not be able to comment on too much. So, if that is something that you're interested in, we can always set up something else later on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
I know everybody was very excited about it, and then it just kind of all fell apart at last moment. We usually have practice on Mondays, so we're like, okay, yeah, we'll find a good one that we just did, and be able to send it in, and yeah, best laid plans.
Yeah. All right. Looks like it's just Jimmy and Debbie here. Oh, are we actually going? Okay, I thought y'all were pulling out the gold aerospray on me.
I mean, I could.
No, not you. Jamie was looking at it.
Well, even if he changed, I could.
Don't threaten me. And thank you, Pukas. Jem's weekly allowance, $2 whole.
Single sody pop.
Thanks, Dad. All right, looks like Jamie's muted at the moment because doggy.
Right. They have an edit and a leader. Leader's wearing quick respawn, so I'm expecting it to play in non-traditional spots, just like. Okay.
Blaster
He's on the
down.
right
I'm
side.
down. One in mid still.
Freezer.
Behind tower.
Charger down.
Jamie got him.
There you
Nice.
Okay, on tower. Moving up.
One flanking left. I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna crab in mid.
Leader's on the top left.
Not
there.
anymore.
Oh,
That
well,
one.
never
Nice,
mind.
Nice.
I didn't say anything. Wiper's gonna be behind where I'm shooting here.
Oop, found the blast.
On right. Weak. Got
Get
him.
him, Jerry.
Blaster got me. That was a nice snap. I'm not jumping.
Oop, yeah.
Woo!
Charger got me on my jump.
Okay, leader down. Nice.
Got tower. Yeah.
Left or right wing. Blaster. Hi, Blaster.
One pushing left. Got him.
Top
Two.
rail. Oh, by me.
One pushing right
Leader
stack.
is up above of paper towel.
Not anymore.
Up.
One on my ouch left.
Yeah, wiper on the right side there.
Oh, that's a blaster. I'm torpedo.
Hammer down.
I'm gonna go up top and use the vacuum. There's 3 behind the tower, and I'm gonna use my vac now.
Line up with your vac.
There's a wiper behind me on the left and freezer.
Leader and another on me. I got one. Leader
Come
is
behind you.
down. One more on left.
Oh, juice.
2 jumping in. Nice, that's one. One more on far left. I got blasted from spawn.
We're sighted. Be careful.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
Blaster got me. But I got juice. I'm back.
There's a good juice.
Well, me and the blaster are both bad at aiming.
Alright, I'm gonna
There we
grab
go,
on
got
the left
one.
side
I'm
here on
down.
the
On tower.
Blaster behind tower.
Wiper and
Two behind tower,
blaster
two behind
together.
tower,
I'm
Court.
dead to blaster.
Jamie's going in.
Mid. Moving towards left.
I'm coming to help Jamie.
I'm above you guys on the right.
Blaster
Oh,
traded.
hammer. Someone on the low right, wiper.
Oh, down by tower.
I didn't
Jamie's
get the
cooler's
wiper, but
out.
I got somebody else.
Grabbing and going in.
Leader's aggressive right. Be careful.
Traded the blaster. Leader behind on
back.
tower.
Pushing tower.
Got one.
Leader back right.
No,
Yeah.
they're just
Leader
chilling
down.
here. There we go. I have a vac.
Blaster traded. Nice.
3 down.
Just wiper.
Top left is wiper.
Wiper's left.
Wipers left,
I'm
yeah.
gonna grab tower.
Grabbing left.
Oh,
Stack.
backing. Oh,
Hammer
there's a
coming
hammer.
from
Oh, no.
freezer. Got them.
Hammer down. Jumping on tower just to push it.
Last
Traded
top
leader.
Left is pushing me. I got it.
Wiper
No,
down.
they
One
got
top
me,
left.
Sorry. Left is blaster. Be careful. Don't be
Jumping
on
to
tower.
Jamie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I might die. We'll see. Nope. They missed.
There's a minute left. Just hold the paint control till we're back. Wiper down.
I've
Tower
got leader's
one.
attention.
In freezer, Jerry.
They're down.
I think I got it.
Yeah. Blaster's on me now. Got blaster. Got leader.
Oh, okay, just the
Yeah.
wiper and me. Watch
Wipers
your jump.
left and
Wipers
mid.
in front of me. On your jump. Wiper back left.
I'll get him eventually. No, I won't, because I just walked and shot.
Oh dear.
Oh. Oh, oh.
Well,
Yeah, hammer got
so
me.
long, folks. Okay, I'm gonna use.
If you
that
want a
to
vac, I
back-
can get in with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I got a little too far away.
I died to wave breaker, but got 2.
Still on tower.
We have to get that. Just Jamie.
I'm almost there. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Good job, Jamie.
Good hold.
There are 2 of them on the tower with me.
I saw
They both
that.
jumped in.
I was my snipe mode was just triggering when the game ended, so. Yeah, I like how there's a Jamie and there's literally like another kind of Jamie in the YouTube chat, but with no A.
Yeah. And hi, Chirpy Kiko. Did you see the Bluey video game trailer? No, I didn't. "21 and 11. That's a lot of death. With V-Shot, do I need to be quite aggressive? You definitely are a Slayer. That doesn't mean you should be... The way that I'm playing is more like the way that you should play a Tetradualies, honestly. You're definitely aggressive, but you don't want to be quite this aggressive. I'm taking a lot of fights that are losing just because I was recognizing, for example, that the range blaster was tending to misdirects. There are a lot of situations I was taking there where we definitely just go down if they play them a little bit better. Like these guys will, because these are competitive players. And they're running double Zuka.
Bubble and hammer.
So
It's gonna
be very wary of when they have special, because they will just insta-delete you if you're not looking. Brush is already in.
Yeah.
Marks behind us. They're down.
Blaster on right.
One on
in the
me.
dip.
On right. Nice. 2 on ramp. That's the last 2.
I don't have a charge. Blaster, they're all pushing right up.
Oh. Brush weak. Oh my gosh.
Just shoot at it. There we go. I didn't have any ink.
They're 3 in mid. We need to either deal with the brush fast or ignore it. It's taking too much of our
They're
time.
just running around. If
Got
we
the
have the
brush.
burst bomb, right? Burst bomb, suck bomb.
Choose. Down the Zook.
I'm down in front. There are 3 on tower still.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Got blaster.
Got one off the bubble. I've got to drop in behind tower. They backed up to stop it. There's still several on tower. Help tower.
2 underneath. Oh, I got.
Got the
Bazooka
hammer.
got me
Oh,
just over the ledge.
someone hiding in the sponge.
I think one's DCing or something. They were just standing still there. Oh my
no,
god.
Could be just them.
They're literally just running around in a circle. They're not even trying to
that's all
attack.
they're doing. They're just getting. They're the beacon for their teammates, basically.
Oh,
I got one.
Oh, we gotta go for it.
Here.
There we
The
go.
brush is by me.
Blaster
Yeah,
tower
brush.
still?
They're behind.
they're jumping in. Got him.
Okay, get mid control. Get mid control. Don't let the brush in.
Watch underneath. Blaster's still here.
The blaster down.
Bazooka.
They're zuking.
That's it.
Ah, man. I can't believe I missed that. One more on right. Brush running in.
Brush by me. Yeah.
Oh, blaster got me.
Shot weak. Got them. I'm down to blaster.
2 more shots.
2
I
on
think,
tower.
Bazooka. Yep. I'd like to be able to jump. It didn't let me jump.
Oh, that was the wrong player. I'm probably gonna die now. Nope, they missed too many shots. Okay, I'm down now.
Oh, yeah. Down the blaster.
We're still on tower. Hammer down. Tower's moved. There's a
Careful,
jump
Jerry.
here.
Back right.
Got one. Yeah, they're zuking. Got the zook. Brush dropped mid.
Brush is just running.
Brush
pick.
on.
They're 2 down. Right side blaster. I will need help with it.
They're
Right
dropping
side.
over right again.
Yeah,
It's a brush.
just brush.
They're zuking at me.
Keep an eye on him.
Oh my god, I ran into a bomb. One behind us still.
I
They're
have to
hammering.
jump out.
Out. Okay. Careful, Debbie, you're alone.
Oh, I know.
I'm ready to drop right. They're zuking.
2 Zukas.
Oh,
One
each.
Zuka. Oh, they snapped at me.
Blaster's right below me. I'll have vac in about 2 seconds if I can get enough paint.
That's one down. Another one below on left.
Just the
blaster
blaster.
on right.
Blaster down.
Got it. Brush is probably gonna be back right
Someone's
away.
jumping in, yeah.
We got the brush.
Actually, behind us. No. Someone's jumping in with the brush, too.
Of course. There's the blaster and the brush.
Got one. I'm down. We need tower in 10.
There's
Oop.
Zuka.
It's just
Okay.
like oh, nice one.
All right, get up in
Jump in
front.
the tower.
When the brush drops in, we need to be able to get rid of that quick.
Alright.
2 on left. I'm pushing in towards
Just
left.
one around here, around here.
That got through the vac somehow.
The ledge. I'm gonna die here.
Oh.
We weren't on tower. Ledges still block vacuum, which is very annoying.
So like, if the bottom edge of the vac hits a ledge, the
wa-
rest of the
it
top
won't-
side of the
top-
hitbox doesn't
the
go
top
any.
part will miss it. Yeah, it was weird. Because I saw that because where I had it down, I just finished sucking up a bomb. So then when you went up it, my aim wasn't like above it.
Oh, so what
fully.
you're saying is
So-
that you just weren't aiming in that direction.
No,
when I
it
went.
was just that like when the blaster came, it still hit like the top left of the vac shot, so like it still wasn't fully there when you went in. So I was more pointed on the downside rather than where the blast was. Because if I didn't get the bomb, you were gonna die to that instead.
Oh, cool. Love it when the webcam does this. I'll have to refresh that later. It's frozen. Two on right stack.
Dynamo's gonna be below left. Oh no, they backed up.
What was that? It was a bomb.
Bomb?
Yeah.
I got one.
Zap coming far right.
I got two. One in their freezer and one top left. Two in their freezer.
Dynamo freezer. Okay. Couple still on right. Careful. Probably dead push. I wouldn't go in any further. There's one chasing left heavy. Got him.
Oh, down the
Just
bomb.
trying to paint a little bit. I cannot move in.
Two on the right, one going, I mean two left, one going right.
This is a quad chumps team.
Uh-huh.
Got one with Zook.
Boa is down left, one on right stack, Dooley.
Three right, including Dynamo. I should probably die to this. Yeah, I didn't hit enough shots.
Wow, I hit, okay.
Careful, you're alone.
Oh, yeah.
I hit my right stick to vacuum and it didn't register. I was like, wait a second, what? Hey, now we're going. Below me, two.
Dynamo stuck with me on right. Traded.
Dropped right one.
Down,
They're
down
back
mid.
on top. Bo's gonna get me.
Dooley's
here if
on
I
left
stay.
stack.
Zooking tower.
Watch underneath. They like to go directly underneath the ledge. Oh,
Doing every jump at once. Oh my gosh.
Dynamo on
one's
me.
over top.
I'm down to bow.
I need someone else to help me on shoot the tower.
I'm going
We're
for
being pushed
tower.
left.
Careful, you're alone.
Oh,
One in our freezer.
Okay, I'm gonna back on the right here. Once the.
I'm being pushed left. They're in our base.
Oh no! Someone watch my back. I got two.
All right, that's three down. We need to get some paint now.
Back right or top right now, Bo.
Don't focus on kills for now. We just need
There's
the
one on
map
this
painted.
jump. Two on this jump.
Okay, on my way. That 1 week. Where?
I have to jump.
Oh my god. There, got the one. Zooking tower.
One on the right stack. I got Dynamo. They're two down.
One pushing me right.
Shoot, help me out. There we go. Two in front of me. Oh, they're on my left.
I'm down.
got him.
Dynamo behind the tower, throwing bombs at me. Your jump's gonna die. Okay. Dynamo is directly below me. Got it. They're weak in freezer. I have back again. We have 4 specials.
Got one with Zook.
Oh no. Dynamo's gonna steamroll me. We're alone in there.
I'm down on tower.
One in freezer still, and one pushing in middle.
On right stack.
On
Go
me.
to the right.
There's gonna be 2 there.
Got the dynamo fleeing.
Left.
Fleeing retribution.
Oh no. Oh no.
We need tower in
I
2.
need someone to. There's too much.
Yeah. Never died to chump so many times in my life.
Hello.
Hi.
Shell being better now.
She's outside not barking.
Okay.
She's just in a bad mood. Like, she sees someone out there, yeah.
Okay, webcam is working once more. Boink.
Jumps have their advantages. Back in summer, my team was testing double chump comps before.
Oh, it's the
Here we go again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that chumps don't get value. Like, they do get significant value.
Oh,
It's
not
just a
full
question
chumps.
of, like, is that enough value to be worth passing up something else for? The big thing they were getting out of the chumps, honestly, was the paint more than anything else. Like, we kept on taking fights when we didn't have enough paint,
Got one.
and that made it more difficult.
Bo got me. 2 on their clam goal. One
Yeah,
just
Bo
dropped.
and Ryder. Ryder dropped, Ryder dropped. I can't go after it. We're 2 down.
Oop, yeah. Down the fence.
Where
Have
is
crab
Debbie?
ready.
One pushing me right. It's Ryder.
I'm dead to Bo. Someone get the beacon by Jamie. Oh, never
Got
mind.
one. I'm gonna go down to the rest on the right here.
Oh yeah, down the farm.
Yeah, I've got a few beacons in
Dynamo's
mid.
up on the top right.
Be really
There we go.
careful out in front. Don't go rushing the dynamo haphazardly.
They're leading the way basically.
Okay. I'm getting bombs on tower. I have
They're
Zuka.
weak and behind.
Nice. That's 2 down. Move up. Zuking. Got the Ryder.
One's in left
One left
wing.
still. I'm getting attacked by the bow. I'm gonna need some
One more
pressure on
left
that.
wing.
Targeting the
There's your
boat,
there's a
crab.
crab,
You
but
can
there's
come
one on the
easy,
left of
Debbie.
you. I don't know where they went. There they are.
I'm down to
Well.
chumps.
Well, I can't be here. Why, what?
Traded?
Let me go up! Why did it do that?
I know the feeling.
Oh,
Got one.
Dynamo down.
Pencil.
Ryder weak. Another one weak.
They have
In mid,
beacons
mid.
still.
On me. We're Dooley's right. They're last. Make sure, they're gonna get jumps into the right.
Yeah, see him. There's one left too.
There's still one on the right. I hit it 3 times. They
Roll
dropped
on
there in
left.
middle.
on my edge. On the
I got
right.
Dooley.
Dynamo is 2 shots.
Pencil.
They're on tower there. Careful, you're alone, Jamie.
Yep.
There's a dynamo on him and
Not-
something else.
Okay, they're popping chumps. I'm gonna try and cut them off from running left. Try to push in on right. Dynamo down.
There you go.
Snipe Raiders left. There's 2
Zuking.
by their clam goal.
There's a beacon behind their sponge.
One
And
drop?
snipe.
Question mark?
Nice. Yeah.
Traded dynamo.
Oh.
They still got beacons in there. Be careful. Give jumps if you can.
They're weak. Bo's looking at me though.
Oh,
There you
Knight
go.
Rider.
You needed-
Oh,
Oh,
landed.
no.
I'm sorry.
We're behind the tree.
Backing up. Careful, Debbie.
Cancel dead.
Oh, on tower.
Got them.
And then the ammo.
One flanking left.
Grabbing the right side.
One drop left. Jim.
Rider's stuck in mid.
Cancel
Got
dead.
Rider.
One in left wing, the dualies.
Got the bow.
There's a dualies around the tower area.
Sponge is dynamo. Thank you. Traded. Dynamo on left still with the beacon.
Grabbing left side.
I'm weak. I need someone to bomb the bow.
I'm down in front. They're gonna rush.
Oh,
Oof.
too much.
Okay.
I'm gonna get pressured out of here by the long range Zuking.
I got 2.
Alright, we gotta get on tower.
You gotta
I'll
get
get
that
it. I'll try to
beacon
get in
out of the way.
front.
Get the beacon.
Behind.
Oh, I
Got it.
Oh, God.
We need to get out in front of it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're down.
Ah.
I think it's largely just a paint problem. I think if we take our time and paint before we go in, we're
Yeah,
fine.
Change your weapon.
But we keep trying to engage when they have all the paint, so they can see where we're going more easily, and we can't move up as fast. Sometimes a paint problem is also just like we're dying too much, which also might be happening. But like if they don't have anything that's pushing up super aggressively on that team comp. So if we just kind of be patient and wait for a good opening, and then take it, like we can usually push them back. My solo queue peak? Well, on day 2 of placements, I got number 10 in North America once, so I'm pretty good at the game. Those are very fraudulent. Let's see, I think I've gotten like 2480 something. I don't remember exactly what it was. But I've done that in a couple modes at least. I think I've got another one to like 2450. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter in this game, because in this game they're all the same. Or no, they're all the same in series. They're not all the same in X. I don't know. You can tell I don't think about my solo queue rank too much.
Oh boy.
Okay. Double brush now.
More brushes. And an edit.
So this is just a mechanics check. It's just, can we hit shots on the brushes when they run in circles?
Oh, they're already here.
Yep.
Blaster. Oh, blaster on right.
Blaster knows I'm here, and they're coming after me. They're pinching me. See if we can get the brush in the meantime. Alright, nice. One dropping in, behind you, behind you.
Be on bomb right.
trade with brush. Another one moving in.
I'm getting hit by the blaster.
The blaster.
I only hit one thing on it.
Oh, there were mines.
Ah, the ledge.
Oh my.
No, I didn't get one. I just damaged multiple. Tower, tower, tower.
Blaster!
Got one. Two behind.
Yeah,
One-
you're alone.
Both weak.
Basically. There you go.
Brush is behind.
Got
Blaster
brush
down.
behind.
Beautiful. You know?
I'm in their base.
I'll
Don't jump on tower.
I'll hop on and go forward.
Got two.
Nice.
Okay.
Got one. Oh,
Yeah,
brush
tower.
on tower.
What's going on?
Yeah, brush snuck up on me on tower.
Missile 3.
Someone else take.
One went right.
I'll take.
Got one with Zook.
Jamie, watch behind. There's
Yeah,
two
brush
behind
coming
you.
out right. Two brushes.
They're gonna go in with hammers.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I missed everything. Two on their ramp.
Another heavy.
Two behind now. Watch behind.
Yep. I couldn't
Hammers
jump out
coming
quick
in.
enough. Watch out.
There's one slipping in with hammer. They see me. Got him.
We kill. And
One around the corner. On me, on me. Got him.
Oh, I got directed.
Blaster weak.
I got indirected. Two there.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Two on my
That's
ouch.
one.
Heads up.
Got blaster traded.
Oh no. Nope.
We need tower. Got one.
I got ledge.
One
Got another blaster on me. Someone jumped to tower.
Yeah,
I'll
tower.
be back there with him.
Oh, one.
There we go.
Dead.
Brush weak on my
Oh.
ouch.
Yeah, there's under a ledge and I can't.
They
do
dropped?
anything right now.
Is
Okay.
Yeah, he's back up to their sponge. All the way back up to their plot.
They're all on thing right now. One's behind us.
That brush. They're trying to scissor.
Oh, blaster.
Oh, no.
Knife.
I'm
Brush
dead.
down. Got two.
Oh, three
Get
down.
this tower. In the corner.
Yeah, they're in the corner.
Oh,
Got them.
Red.
Top left.
Blaster's top right. Yeah, I'm down. They're hammering.
There's
Get the
one
check if we
behind
can.
us still.
Nice. Yeah, they're still behind us. We can keep pushing forward if we get these two.
I'm weak and dead.
oh.
Got
Straight
one.
hammer. They're coming from behind.
Oh man,
They're
I'm
all
gonna
in
go
there.
down to
They're
the
all there.
hammer.
They're all there. They're all there. Oh no.
Almost, almost.
Oh, I jumped.
Here's missiles for them. Oh, I didn't even go off in time.
You know what? That was good. That was better.
Yeah, they were running a second brush this time.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing that it went better. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of fights where if I just hit shots sooner, that's an easy W.
Mm-hmm.
Just so hard for me to keep up with those brushes.
I mean,
Yeah, that's what they're there for.
mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. I didn't realize that we got more information about side order on Twitter.
Yeah, it's pretty much confirmed roguelike, which is really exciting.
I never fully tried out a roguelike game. I have Dead Cells, but I played like an hour or two of it.
I mean, the mechanics of the game are more of a defining characteristic of the genre than the fact that it's a roguelike.
Yep.
One on left. Left stack.
Still on the wall.
I got 3.
The one's flanking left.
I'm in Zuka position. Oh, there's a Zuka behind us?
Yeah.
I'll take tower. After the bomb explodes.
Good.
I'm just keeping tower here. I'm
Me
not
with
trying to push
umbrella.
it.
I did not see that bomb.
Got it. There's another one. No,
Yeah, there's two.
Oh!
One
I
behind
got
us.
one of 'em.
On me. Got them. Another one on me weak. Got them.
Can we pause
We need
tower?
tower again.
Yeah, I got tower.
Okay, I got it.
I'll push around right. I've got Zuka popping.
Oh no, I got pinched by 2.
Got one. There's another.
Tower.
Like this shit.
Yeah, I'm being pushed by 2. I'm down.
Oh no.
Oh.
Alright,
Yeah.
that should be dead push. Unless we can get check. If we
I
can
can
cheese
get
it, then
Oh, well,
maybe that's
I
worth
got
it.
close.
Ooh, Zuka!
Woo!
Oh, it got me.
For it.
Right side shot.
One other.
I'm down to a bunch in freezer.
Ooh.
You're last, you're last. Or first up, I guess. Close to Zuka. I guess we let them have this.
Two under our ledge. Got one.
Help me, help me, help me. Okay.
Umbrella down.
Nice, nice.
Put the go down.
Wiper on me, wiper on me. There we go.
Nice.
They have beacons up front. You're right, heavy.
Got one, 2 in freezer. They're pushing tower. I've got to back up.
I'm down to shot on the left.
Got them.
There's a beacon
Wiper
the
on
right.
me, freezer.
I got the beacon.
1 weak. In freezer.
You get him twice.
Freezer weak, freezer weak.
Go.
One more, one more,
Got
one
him.
more.
Ooh. There's 3 down.
Taking tower.
Yeah. Top left is the shot.
Uh-oh.
Ah, they're weak. Nice.
Gun. Bullet got me though. Bullet's still there.
On tower still?
now.
Oh. Ah. Coming in mid.
Oh. There's quite a few here. Think Jet.
I should die to this, yeah. Debbie's fighting. Help Debbie.
Traded.
Where? Oh, freezer.
One by tower.
Tower's
Two
weak.
by tower.
Nice.
There
Yeah,
you go.
one more.
Yeah, I see it.
On the
Got
tower.
Got him, traded.
On the tower, on the tower.
Left.
Got
Yep. Nice.
He was able to get drinks out. Someone has drinks. Umbrella.
Drop freezer, drop freezer. I'm
There's
going
two.
across. Got one, I'm down.
I think you got me in the middle.
Got
So
two.
there you go.
Nice, just one. On tower.
Top left.
Too many bombs. Two bombs. I should say.
Oh, man.
I missed on the right.
Oh, 2 on right, 3 on right.
We're two down,
It's
we're
up,
two
it's
down.
up, it's up, it's up, it's up.
And 2 on my ouch.
10 seconds.
Umbrella weak.
Help me with it. There's
Uh,
a ping.
Umbrella's damaged. I'm trying to get on tower. Okay, we got it.
Okay.
One of them fell.
I took the umbrella back a bit.
We've got a Greg fan in the chat.
Oh my gosh, I got all of the enemy splatting badges.
Mhm.
Let's go.
V-try on Mako-Mart? Yeah, that checks out.
This is definitely, oh my god. Okay,
What?
you'll see. Yeah.
Yup.
Heavy with the
Hold
carry.
I'm switching weapon. I wanna. Oh my.
Yeah! Now keep in mind, I only randomly picked this as a pocket pick for a Game 3 decisive thing at Riptide. And I've been playing it whenever we just need a YOLO weapon since.
I'm still trying to decide if I should pick up Zap again or not. I don't know if I should.
It's one of those things where if you understand the game well enough and the weapon doesn't have like a huge mechanical like skill
Oh my god.
floor you have to hit, that you can flex pretty quickly onto whatever it is you want to.
Mhm.
And Devi definitely knows how to play the video game.
To an extent.
Always more to learn, but
First time left boss also.
Oh, yeah.
I got one anyway. There's a brush behind us,
Yeah.
as to be expected. This is the double brush comp we've been running up against forever.
This is the same
I
people.
couldn't get it in time.
Oh,
Yeah, we just can't feed in. You gotta wait a second and get specials.
Got the brush. Got the other brush. I'm down.
Where's the blaster?
Behind tower.
yeah, it's just been hanging out under
They're
that
above
ledge.
They got a beacon now or a bubbler.
Bubble now.
Bubble.
Got the blaster.
Oh,
Got a brush.
Edits to
That's
just behind
three.
the tower. There we go. I don't know where the last one is. Oh, I found it!
Hammer.
Ah! Should be dead. Yep, there's two on the left.
Got one with Zuka.
There's still one left, and then two
Oh,
behind
yeah.
tower.
Oh, jeez. Hammer.
Nice.
Brush still there. Left side.
Blaster weak left. Didn't get him. Two there. They're jumping in.
The brush might
Oh,
still
we're
be behind
really
me,
behind.
but- Yeah. I have an inkjet, but I don't think I'm gonna get much done with it. There's a brush just chilling
I'm
on the
marked.
right.
I'm gonna die. Oh no, I'm not. They missed.
Brush behind you.
Oh my goodness.
How did-
Brush in our
I
face.
got one.
Got blaster. Another one on me. Got them. Okay, nice wipe.
Nice,
Get up in front.
good
Get up
job.
in front.
Alright.
Left.
Got one.
I beat the brush. Well, we traded, but one more left.
They're not looking right yet, but I think there's someone who's gonna come out that way.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
a
down
blaster and
Okay,
another.
we haven't cleared
two
first.
left, two left.
There's the edit. Ow. Edit dropped on me.
I'm down to blaster right.
Yeah, let's try to make sure we have left control first.
Yeah, we had 3 there.
Oop,
Hammer.
and a hammer.
Brush is coming right left.
And brush got me.
Yeah,
We just went
just
for
gonna
it.
leave that one alone. Hello, blaster.
It's something.
2 on me.
I didn't get 2 on the heavy edit. I'm sad.
Okay, 2v2.
Oh,
Stop tower if we can.
It's just Jamie.
You trade. So someone there, jump.
They're
in.
just hiding in this corner.
I'm down to blaster from below.
I
Good
got 3
move,
of 'em.
Debbie. Nice.
Last one is over here.
Yeah, they're in
Hello.
mid, giving
Yep,
jumps.
they're jumping.
I'm gonna try and cut
Brush
off on
already
the
by
right
the tower.
side.
Help
They're
me
watching
jump.
me.
Blaster's under there.
The blaster a few times.
Got one.
right stack.
Behind you, Debbie.
Yeah, there's a brush and something else.
I'm gonna go down to blaster on right. I need to stop pushing that.
Brush on right.
Yep.
Careful,
I
you're
didn't
alone.
get it. I missed.
Oh man. Yeah.
All good.
Brush is in behind. Got one.
And
Got
blaster's
2.
on our top.
Blaster weak. Didn't get him.
Blaster's right above you, Court.
Got
All of them
brush.
are- Oh. They're gonna
2
play
on
this
right.
game now.
They keep jumping in with coolers. We've just got to kill them.
There's a lot on 2 on the left here.
Yeah, they're behind our glass.
Brush on
They
the
keep
right.
jumping in.
Brush traded.
Well,
Another brush
Oh,
behind.
boy.
yeah, there's 2 there.
Traded.
One's just chilling on the right.
Yep, I see it. I'm down. Hammer got me from behind.
Just wait, Court.
Oh my gosh.
I missed.
see.
I am so sad. I am so sad I missed.
Hammer got me from behind tower. They're close to check.
No, down here, but okay.
I'm dead to blaster there.
Oh.
I did
Did we
not
fall
have
off?
paint at my feet. I don't think anyone was on.
I tried to get it on there last second, but yeah. Just missed. Wait, every time I see one brush go down, there's like another brush behind me.
Is Gem short for Gemothy?
In Griller's terms, yes.
That is one of my many names. Gem, what div is your team? You may have said it, but I didn't catch it after rewinding stream. The team that I play for, Future Sight, which is not this group of folks, by the way, is we're not div'd yet. We're probably around like div 4 or whatever the equivalents will be in this next season. I'm anticipating that in this next season there are more divisions than there have been before. Just because we've been hitting a lot of record-sized tournaments. I think there are a lot of new people in the scene since the last Lodi season. So I'm guessing that what was Div 4 will really be more similar to like a Div 5 or a Div 6 in this coming season. So Division it's kind of a really loose categorization right now, but we are just outside of the group who will be able to win low ink. Like, we're all low ink winners, except for maybe like one of them or something who got banned from low ink for something else. So typically, like in the past, Div 4 has been right about the area where you were at if you're a Div 4 winner, or if you're a low ink winner. And that's roughly where we should be, but we don't have a lot of tournament results yet. The team is fairly new with this roster.
One on left.
Couple
side.
on left. Got one.
There's one on the right bucket. Oh, there's two
Swift
here.
trying to do trick
There's
shots.
three
Traded.
here. Whoa.
One on right side. On Devi. Help Devi. Push up.
Got two.
Nice. 2 down.
Got him.
Just Swift. They're coming up left.
Top left. I
There's
broke
one.
its armor.
I'm flanking. They see.
Okay.
Well played. Well played.
Two in front of me.
One's on
Okay,
right stack.
Try to collapse back in
Weak.
when you can, Devi. We're pushed all the way back to mid.
I'm coming.
Oh, down the bum.
I got hit by the bucket.
I tagged him, but I can't finish it off. This guy's stuck. Got him.
Oh, we're staggered. Careful.
Traded.
I guess it's technically 2-2 at the
Oh
moment.
no. Okay. Finally got my in.
Left.
You guys up though.
One on left. Weak.
They're hit twice. They're stuck
Where'd they go?
on the
They're
wall.
back on left stack. Jumped into mid.
There's
Two
two on the
took
right.
stack.
Assume that if they drop down off the stack, they're gonna come back up at some point. Woo.
I'm down to Zuka. Unfortunately.
Help me! Ooh! There's a
Got
bucket on
one.
me.
Zuking tower. Got one. That's
There we
wipe.
go.
Let's go.
Nice.
Beautiful.
I got crab on
One
lock
dropped left
here.
on me. I might lose. No, I got him. You traded. Devi's up with the ink jets. Let's get the tower moving as fast as we can. Nice. All right, time to shift left to right. There's a
Oop,
Zuka on left. Be
Zuka.
careful. Going for me. I think I'm alive. Yeah, I'm good.
Oop. Swiffer got me on tower.
Oh. I think they ledge glitched or something. Lost track of them visually. We're 2 down.
Yep. I'm just gonna wait until you guys give me a signal and I'll push in. There's a bubble on tower. Okay.
One's on left stack. Scott.
Moving in slowly. Oh, well.
That's unfortunate.
Okay. Let's stop checkpoint.
Yeah.
Nice. There's still one.
Oh, yeah, they're weak. They're beside it.
I didn't get a
There's
good
also-
angle.
They're on in front of right.
Still on me. Nice. Still one tower.
I see him. He's
Nice.
dead. Traded.
One right stack.
Two right tower. Two to right and back.
All right. Devi's going in. Help.
There's one more on my ouch.
Got
There you
them.
And then
Still
they're
one coming
up
left. On left stack.
One's going freezer.
It's Squiff. Squiff down.
Swift down.
Beautiful. Two there.
Got another.
Oop. One on right stack.
Oh.
Down.
Thank you.
Guessed
Oh,
wrong
no,
on the
one on
bucket.
me.
Shouldn't have gone in. Bucket on right bunker. They're pushing right stack. We need to get up in front if we're gonna push that.
Yeah.
Nice
Got
pick,
one.
Devi.
Thank you. I'm gonna push on the left here.
Harassing bucket, yeah.
Oh, well.
I'm down on right.
Thank you.
Oop. Bucket on right. Weak. Down. I'm down. Bucket's still there on
Oh,
right.
I was jumping out and I got killed. He's dead though. Good job.
I'm down to bucket below. Get out if you can. They might. Oh no, they're not gonna shove that because they're gonna push the tower the other way. So that's an opportunity to get in. Let me know when you're going, Devi.
I'm going now.
One got in behind. I
The
traded.
Zuka got me.
Don't go in yet. Don't
Should've
go in
waited.
yet. You're alone.
Yeah, I'm getting
Use
back.
bombs if you have to. Okay, they're probably gonna get lead here. One's underside.
Got a jump.
We lost the
Diving tower. Tower down.
There's one on court. Nice
That's wide.
court. Please tell me you got that with a baller bunk.
Oh, yes, of course.
Come on.
One on me, one on me, one on me!
Got
Top
two.
one.
One on right.
Nice.
They're weak.
One on tower.
Still on
one
tower. Still
one
on tower. They're down.
Okay, I'm just gonna go up and try and be a nuisance if I can.
You wanna
Actually,
rush?
never mind, I'll stay here and help.
Yeah, I was already further in. Damn. They were ready for that. They knew I was coming. They're
Oh,
dropping
I'm down
bunker.
bomb.
Freezer,
I'm
freezer,
annoying.
freezer, freezer. Help,
Come on,
freezer.
tower.
Oh.
Oh.
That's it?
Yeah, that'll be our last for
Alrighty.
those matches.
Alrighty.
Ciao.
Boy.
All right, so we'll start with Greg, since Greg is here, and then we'll do Pink Lemonades. They haven't responded to me at all on Discord. Whoa, what was that? That was loud. Did you just, like, rub something across your mic or something?
Oh yeah, sorry.
There's loud noises going on.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, it looks like you've given me 2. We're only going to have the time to do 1. Which of the 2 would you prefer?
Well, it didn't really send you a code the first time, so I just wrote out the code the second time. They should be the same one.
There are... Oh, I'm looking at a different person. My bad. There it is. Okay. Yeah, I've got
And
it.
then, what is the best way to watch this live?
I will be sharing it on Discord in a second. I just need to get that set up. So give me a minute and it'll be there.
Perfect.
There. Now you should be able to see my screen.
Yes.
And that'll be closer to real time than watching the stream will be.
Sure.
Okay. And let me fix the green screen that way. Yeah. Okay, I think that looks good. Yeah, no corners or anything. All right. Oh, so this is solo queue?
Yeah, this is just a solo queue match.
Gotcha. Okay. Because if you wanted to grab like a team VOD, you know, obviously it wouldn't have the voice calls, but we would still be able to talk about some stuff that's more relevant to the matches you're going to be playing there. But up to you.
Unfortunately, like, we weren't able to practice on Monday, and we usually practice on Wednesdays too, but with the update, it kind of deleted all those codes, so we were just kind of...
Okay, so you just haven't had a practice since then?
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right. So you don't have too weird of a comp on your side. They have a very weird comp on their side. Oh, mincemeat. Oh, man. Mincemeat clam blitz, too. You're a brave one for even playing the rotation. So Crab Tank is going to be really important here. Crab Tank is going to be really important here because it shuts down the entire stage. You want to play around that for the majority of the time. It's just generally not safe to push with your main weapon unless there's overwhelming force accompanying you. And even then, a lot of the time it doesn't work because this is just Mincemeat Metalworks. So we'll see how it goes. You're going to have the Sploosh and the Tetris trying to dive pretty constantly. And you're going to have to be really careful about being in the line of sight of the Bamboo or the leader. Both of those are going to have a pretty strong zone of control. And so you need to be aware of those before you go in on anything. So let's see how this goes. Painting-wise, let me back out for a second and show you the painting pattern that's a little bit more efficient. So, this is generally what you're doing, and in order to get even paint with that, you're having to like hold it for a while so that it gives you something that's going to be consistent. Say hi to the cat for me.
Yeah. The dog and the cat are fighting right now.
If you do this sort of thing, that now you're going to get a wider area for about the same amount of time as it's going to take you to paint this one line consistently. Like, it takes longer to do what I just did than it does to do what I did there.
Okay.
So if you're especially just trying to paint for special, this is the best way to do it here. If you're trying to paint for combat movement as quickly as possible, then you want to be doing a little bit of the up-down. You don't have to do quite as much of it with the splash because its paint is so thick. But you don't want to be doing this. You'd much rather be doing this. Because you can see how much more even the right side is for the same amount of time you're spending painting.
Okay.
So either you want to be doing a little bit of that, or you want to be doing this sort of thing to just cover as much as possible and get as much of your special as possible in that amount of time.
Yeah, because I was trying to build up for special early.
Gotcha, yeah. Basically, the principle of painting is that you want to avoid putting paint down in places where you already have paint. You want to spend as little time as possible doing that because every shot where that happens is wasted. So the up-down thing makes it so that you get a continuous line in the fewest shots possible. And the side-to-side thing makes it so that during the time you're filling in all the gaps, chances are better, since you're aiming in all sorts of different places, that every individual shot goes in a place that it hasn't gone before. So all of that is just to reduce the redundancy of where the droplets fall.
Okay.
As you can see there, like, you had that area in front of you, you swept from left to right on it, but there was still a big gap in the middle just because of where the pellets happened to fall. If you do the up-down thing, you fill in that middle area without having to spend as much time looking left and right. If you're doing, the side-to-side thing, you don't care too much about the gaps, but you are going to fill them in eventually, and during that time that you're filling them in, you will also have painted a whole lot more besides. There's no reason here, another painting thing, not to just aim up and over the top of the ledge. So like here, as you move over, notice you're hitting the side here. If you just aim up over the top of that, you paint the top of it too, in addition to whatever's in front of you. Always try to aim like across what you're trying to paint so that you get max range out of the weapon.
Okay.
So we paint ourselves a little bit of an escape route in case we need to back up here. You can probably spend a similar amount of time painting more of it and still be moving backward at about the same speed. But we get a crab here, and we're ready to get that started. We're flushing them out of left side. Now, do we have anyone who can really follow up on this? What you want to be doing is using the crab to make a fight more winnable. And I don't really think there's a fight here to be taken, because you've lost a player, and you have one player who's out there in mid, but they're not going to be able to get up onto the left truck in a very expedient amount of time. The other player that you have is the snipe rider, who's back up on over to your right. So this crab, all it's really going to do is keep the enemy team back, and that's something that we're already doing because we're existing on mincemeat clams. So we'd probably rather wait for our bucket to respawn and get back in, and then maybe let Invader H get into a more aggressive position or find, a better angle. And then once there's a fight about to break out, then you start that fight with the crab, and they have to look at the crab, and your teammate is able to follow up from there.
Okay. Yeah, because crab positioning and timing is one thing that I'm definitely trying to concentrate on and figure out better, how to do better.
It's really well connected to knowing when to push in general. because you're always trying to use the crab at a time where you need to win a fight. Like, you don't want to just whiff at everything. You don't want the opponents to not be engaged at all and be able to just back up and take cover and wait it out. You want them to be in the thick of it so that they're committed and they can't get away from it. And so knowing when a fight is happening means you have to know where your teammates are and know where the opponents are, so that when teammates and opponents start to collide with each other, that's when the crab tank comes out.
Okay.
And right now, there's like a teammate who's huddled up in the corner here, but they're not going to be able to put out any offense. As soon as the crab goes out, the enemy team's just going to back up, and you're not going to get much out of it.
Okay.
I do like that you threw a burst bomb before you initiated the crab. That's awesome. You want to throw that burst bomb at the target that you're planning on shooting at. Because you threw the burst bomb over to the right, and then you just aimed over to the left instead. So you didn't get like damage or paint at their feet or anything from the burst bomb. If you have enough in the tank for a second burst bomb after you throw the first one, and the first one doesn't hit anyone, you might want to move that to somewhere else and see if you can get that combo off. Because that combo is a much more guaranteed way to get a splat with this special weapon. The hammer there was dangerous because you were nearing the end of your crab, and if they had thrown it at you, it probably would have hit you because you don't have very much of an ability to move. So you want to be eyeing that really carefully and not committing too hard to being in the place the hammer can be thrown. So I wouldn't have like swam forward. I think it's actually supposed to be swum in that case, but I hate that word. Past participles of irregular verbs suck. Anyway, I wouldn't have moved forward after him. I would have maybe tried to move over to the side to give yourself cover. Would have maybe tried to like sit in the ink and see where they were going to move. Maybe stealth swim in one direction so they have less of a sense of where you are. But for one thing, moving forward, you're moving yourself as far away as you can possibly be from any cover because you're in the absolute middle of this area right here. You're not close to any walls. You're not close to any obstacles. But for another thing, you're moving yourself closer to your teammate. If you put yourself next to your teammate, any AoE immediately becomes twice as threatening to your team. And you also might give your teammate's position away because, like, you're over here, you've just picked up a clam, you've fired a bunch of crab shots at them. If they shoot towards you and accidentally hit your teammate, you've given your teammate's position away and they've lost their stealth. Now, granted, this is Mincemeat Metalworks. There are like 2 safe positions on this map. So sometimes that's just inevitable and that's the only place you can go. But it's to be avoided anywhere else.
Sure.
Anywhere else that's not called Mahi Mahi Resort, which is also not a map that should be played under most circumstances. I would not go up through the grate in this way. If I'm going to go all the way up, I would squid roll backwards and immediately be running away. But I don't even know if I would want to expose myself because you've got the power clan the whole way. If there's anybody within range as you're coming up the wall, they're going to know where you're going, and they're going to have a shot ready to go. Like, there's an E-leader on their team that could easily have been looking at you. If it weren't for the fact that the Tetrits are down, I would be worried about them. Sploosh is maybe a little bit less of a concern just because they're shorter range, but if they can get on top of you, then that's still a threat. But it does happen to be only the Sploosh that comes after you. The E-leader spends their shot on somebody else. Actually, it looks like that's the bamboo. So nobody's ready to punish you for this, which is lucky. But I would chalk that up more to poor awareness on their part than anything, because you were the furthest player forward on your team, and you had a power clan, so they knew exactly where you were going to be. They really should probably have punished you for going up through like that.
Sure.
And there's an E-leader right in front of you that absolutely can hit you, and you don't want to spend any amount of time out there as soon as you see the laser. If you're going to do this thing where you like juggle the clam, you probably don't want to be juggling it onto the grate, because now the clam is further in front of you than anyone else on your team. Like, if you try to run in and save that clam, you're going to be stuck in mid without any cover at minimum for like 3 or 4 seconds. The E-leader could literally see you going for it, start charging a shot, and hit you with it before you touch the ground.
Yeah, it was an ill-conceived kind of like goading them into being confused as to where I was, and just got way
And
too far ahead of
another
myself.
thing is that your teammate decided to go and pick it up themselves, so even though you knew it was a bad idea, they didn't, and they ran in and got sniped themselves. So, don't worry too much about saving power clams. If one breaks, it's not the end of the world. The hard part of this map is not making clams. The hard part of this map is getting the space that you need to be able to actually score them. So worry about that first. You know, if you win a fight in mid, you can worry about the clams once you've got someone on their plat and stuff. Because there should be some clams in mid, there should be some clams up there. You're usually good once you've got all the map control that you need to actually start pushing their plat. It's pushing their plat that is just impossible on this map. Like, I swear every single game that's not a blowout should go to overtime with 100 to 100 remaining every time.
Yeah, I even almost chose this map because I was like, I have such trouble breaking onto that platform to score. I was like, I wonder what
Everybody does. There is not a single weapon in the game that is good at this map. The tent is probably the closest at being good at this map, but every other weapon in the game is only good at defending and not good at attacking. And even the tent is, you know, it's got crabs to watch out for, it's got strikes to watch out for, there are going to be leaders watching, Zuka's watching, especially in Zuka meta right now. My god, that must be so hard to play. Yeah, this should never be played in any competitive tournament. If it is, I am upset at the organizers. Alright, good job tracking them down. The aim was a little bit shaky there, and we spent a pretty long time trying to fire shots before we hit them. So that's something, you know, you can always be working on in the lobby, but it's not something to, like, beat yourself up over or anything, because it'll come with time. You can see that and be like, alright, like, I missed some shots there for sure, and that's something that, you know, I want to be working on as things move forward. But you also, like, don't let it tilt you, don't let it get you upset, don't beat yourself up. Like, it happens to everybody, and everybody's always working on it themselves. Like, even the best players in the world miss shots sometimes. I was watching Mode Cup recently, and the casters are blowing Kiver up for dropping down on someone in a good position and then whiffing all their shots and losing the engagement. Like, if Kiver's gonna miss shots sometimes, who cares if you miss shots sometimes, right? So...
It's
Again,
more me fighting the walk and shoot once I start missing, because I'm just like, I know they're right there, and then...
Yeah, there were a couple of moments there where they actually got behind cover and you needed to reposition to be able to get shots, and absolutely then you definitely need to be stopping shooting and moving, so that you can get into the position where you can hit them, and you're not giving away your own position the whole time that you're moving toward them. So that would be one thing to work on, but... you did pick a good fight there. Like, you still won it despite missing all the shots. So, still a big W. Way to kite that hammer back. They had no business diving in like that. From here, you're very willing to get up on the grates and challenge chargers. And they're not punishing you for it, but they will. There will come a time when you will already have been dead for making this play across the grates. So you generally want to play the low ground to be able to get close to them. It's a lot easier to swim down below the ledge and climb up the wall at them than it is to walk across the grates at them.
Okay.
And also, as you're doing so, you're going to be painting your way forward, which is going to give you special charge and give you more crab tanks. Okay, yeah. I respect popping it as soon as you get up here, because there's a charger, and you need to be able to protect yourself from the charger immediately as you get up. But if the charger was the concern here, which, for me, that's exactly what it would have been, and that's why I would have popped crab early if I had done this. But if that is the concern, you want to be aiming at the charger with the crab, because otherwise it's just going to be able to draw a bead on you and headshot you. They may not be going for that, which is on them, but that's the counterplay that they have. So you need to get like an explo shot or something on them now to disrupt them from being able to do that, and distract them, block their vision or something like that, so that they have to move instead of trying to get that shot ready to go. Like that shot absolutely should splat you that they took right there.
Yeah. Because I knew there was one on the truck that I was running from before, and then the one on the right side kind of surprised me.
And again, moving out onto the grates just not going to be super safe a lot of the time. You get stuck there, and like the only reason that autobomb splats you is that it takes you so long to be able to touch the ground again. Being in midair, you can't move as far laterally as you can while you're swimming. So anytime that you commit to being airborne is time that you're committing to moving slower, and that's going to make things that you would normally be able to avoid no problem, like the autobomb, a lot more dangerous.
Okay.
We're not doing a lot of painting. Like, I'm looking at the times where you're putting paint on the ground, and I'm thinking, like, if you're going to paint here, then what you're giving up in exchange for it is your stealth. So what you want to do then is paint enough that you can then swim somewhere in that sea of ink you've just put out in front of you, and the enemy team will no longer know where you are anymore. You want to like enable yourself to have your position unknown again as soon as possible after you go painting. And if you're only going to paint that little, it might be worth more just to shark and not give your position away at all, so that now you keep your stealth. It's like you're not getting the best of either option. You're getting the disadvantage that you're giving up your stealth, but also the disadvantage that you're not painting very thoroughly, and you're not getting your special fast, you're not creating more room for you to move. So they know where you are, and they know that you can't be very far from that even if you start to hide afterward.
Okay.
So either choose to paint and like paint a good amount around you, about as good as your radius allows, for you to put down quickly, and then start moving again, or just stay stealthed and try to move in aggressively ahead of time. I think here it would have been a good idea to at least paint enough to get the special, because like look in the upper right, you're extremely close. If you just spent the tiniest bit more, you'd have a crab tank right now, and this like bamboo who's trying to move up here would be a sitting duck. The power clam in the back left, you'd have a pretty good shot of being able to take it out, or you could resist the E-leader, and all of those things would allow your other teammates to be able to move forward if this bucket would be alive at the same time as you, so that you can push together, because that has not happened so far.
Okay.
So we drop down here, and that is exactly what I would expect from that situation. You didn't have a lot of your colored ink to swim through, so they know where you have to go. They're like, okay, well, this is the only orange, so if I just shoot there, I'm going to find them. So we try to sneak through, but it's just a very visible drop. They're going to see it. Safer thing to do if you're going to push up would be to try and move a little bit further left and not jump over the ledge here, but instead to get right underneath them so that it's hard for them to see, and then be a little goblin down below there waiting for them to drop into you.
Okay. Like in that uninkable space right there?
No, don't go over to the right. Like, go further left. Like, go more towards the middle.
Okay.
So don't go to this raised area. Like, stay underneath the wall that the charger's been playing around.
Gotcha.
But in that situation, I would say not to drop in the first place. So we're 2 players down. We don't want to be too aggressive, but it's always good to be trying to keep the paint up if you don't have a good aggressive play to make. Like, you want to balance your painting and your fighting, your painting and your stealth. Because stealth, it doesn't do anything for you in terms of special, it doesn't do anything for you in terms of map control, it doesn't do anything for you in terms of, like, having room to move. all it's there to do is make it so that if you attack someone, they're not going to see it coming, and you're going to have the element of surprise. Well, right now it's a 2v4, so we probably don't want to be taking a fight. We probably, don't want to get rushed down, and so it can be valuable to hide just so that they don't know that you're here and they don't try to overwhelm you. But you're probably pretty safe from this position. Like, this is a map where you legitimately can often hold 2v4 from this position, which is why it's a bad map. You just need one person looking at the left side and one person looking at the right, and as long as you play safely enough, you should be able to stall long enough for your teammates to get back in. So, given that there's not much to gain from stealth, they know that we're either dead or we're on this plat. We might as well spend some time getting safe paint where we can and getting closer to that crab so that as soon as our teammates get back in, we're going to have the crab ready. Okay, well, if they do that, then we just splat them for it. Ooh, okay. Missed the shots for a little bit too long there. Once they start dodge rolling, it can be worth it if you don't think you have a good read on where they're rolling to just stop firing and reposition yourself so that you're basically doing the same thing to them that they are to you. Like short-range shooters, they don't need dodge rolls. They just splat dash, right? They just paint their feet and swim. So like from here, you start missing here, and now you notice that they're moving. So from there, like, you can move and you shoot here, and once you start missing there, okay, you do start hitting your shots there. But the more you move, like, kind of like they are, and the more you move, like, perpendicular to them, like, picture a circle around that player, just drawn with them as the center point. You want to move along that circle. You don't want to move forward or back from them. You want to move along the circle, around them. You want to strafe them. It's like avoiding a killer whale, where if you move forward or backward, it doesn't help you. You've got to move side to side toward it. That's what's going to throw their aim off the most, and that's going to make what's going to make it the most technically demanding for the Tetradualies to be able to hit you.
Okay.
All right. So the stop was pretty decisive. Unfortunately, that is a winning push on this map mode. I wish I were kidding.
Just the one power clam. Yeah, because it is very hard to break into here.
Ooh, this would be a great crab tank, though. Wait, we might be able to get in off this. Okay, we totally have the lead now. No shot, we don't get even one more clam in. Oh, that's a wipe, too. Yeah, make sure to press the jump button. Nice recovery, nice recovery. Nice little bit of squid roll tech. I like that we're saving the clams. At this point, though, the whole team is dead. So the only benefit that you're going to get right now is the 2 clams that you have, if that. So just get those 2 clams in ASAP. There you go. Good job, good job. Well played. Unfortunate that the whole team just went down immediately like that, because if even, like, if one more person or even 2 more people were to stay alive after that push back in, they could have jumped a power clam into you guys and you would have been at 21 instead of 41. But you did really well to capitalize on the momentum you had and to recognize a really good position to use your special. So that helped that push a lot. So at this point, this should be pretty much game over. We just want to take annoying defensive positions, positions where they need to check in awkward places to be able to find you, or positions where you can just safely farm for crab tank and then have a crab tank to stop them when they do try to push. You don't want to do anything too aggressive. You don't want to push for more points. Only 48 seconds left. The only way that they get a good lead here is if your team wipes, in all likelihood. It's going to take about that much. Ooh, boy, we're playing with fire against that charger. You see, like, on the ground that they have been able to shoot this far. I would not put yourself physically in the position that they just demonstrated they can shoot. Because they're firing another shot there. And again, we're even turning our backs to them, so we don't know if they're aiming at us or not. But they probably won't be at this point since we just scored. I disagree with the decision to score there as a team. Not that it was anything you had to do with, because look at the penalty. Like, we didn't do anything for ourselves there. We got, you know, the penalty probably cut in half. Let's see what it was. So it went from 41.29 to 41.19. Yeah. 41.29 to 41.19 is the ultimate result of that power claim going in. That's literally 0 points and giving them points that they can score with now. There's just no value to that. Now, for you, you could be further forward here, but we're challenging a charger sightline. And that's something we should be getting splatted for outright. But what it is still doing is making it so that we're having to take our time and be really slow about it. Once the charger sees you in one place, you want to get behind cover, break line of sight so they don't know where you're going, and go someplace else. And you don't want it to be obvious. Like, paint one direction and then swim off in the other direction. And then, you know, you'll see them a lot of the time just shoot randomly at the direction you painted, hoping that you go that way. Be tricky about it, but there's this big open sight line out in front of you. There's so much empty space, and that's just not going to help you against the charger at all. Always take cover in those positions. Get stuff in between you and them. Break their sight line as quickly as you can instead of trying to run straight at them. So otherwise they're just going to hold you back forever, or once they hit their shots, they're going to splat you. Yeah. Another very similar situation here. You have a wide open sight line against the bamboo here. They've already fired 2 shots at you. Those 2 shots should have splatted you in the time that it took you to do the 60 damage that you hit with this burst bomb.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of help, as it turns out. Yeah. And, like, we've gotten splatted multiple times here, and they're still not threatening the basket that much. Left side is still completely under control. They might have a play over the right side, but the team is collapsing on that now, and that's how this map works. There's no reason to pick that up. In fact, I would throw it off a cliff. I would just get it out of the way so that it's not revealing your team anywhere.
Okay.
Good job getting ready.
Fully out of the way.
Yeah, like, the only reason I would suggest not throwing it in that direction was that it was close to your teammate, and it might accidentally end up on the teammate. So just, like, whip your aim to the left or something, stop them that way. Okay. They probably should have hard committed to that reef slider and gone all the way in which case you would have had to be swimming away from them sooner. And same kind of principle I was talking about with creating the circle around them, except here you're thinking, okay, here's the line that it's going to be along, so I need to move perpendicular to that line, because that is what will get me the furthest away from it the fastest. And we kind of swam at an angle to it, and we kind of stopped a little bit. You just got to be booking it away from the reef slider.
Sure. And
that's what... You had enough time if you had responded to that quickly and in the correct direction. But I don't think you would have if they had hard committed. They probably would have splatted you at that point, and then they would have been able to pick their clam up.
Okay.
So, big things to think about. One of them is going to be the painting patterns that we talked about early. Making sure to get as much as you can out of the time that you spend painting. Another one is going to be committing harder to either painting or going for aggression. You're kind of like painting a little bit and then hiding, and then painting a little bit and then hiding. And that's making both the painting and the hiding worse. So we want to pick one or the other, depending on the situation.
Okay.
We want to make sure that we're always popping those specials in situations where you have teammates that are pushing in with you, which is something that you did really successfully to set up the winning push, but that there were other times where it wasn't happening, and so, you know, we can't say that it's happening consistently or even necessarily very intentionally from what we've seen.
Sure.
So those would be the big things that I would say to focus on the most. Obviously, you're always working on your aim. You're always, you know, doing whatever drills that it takes to get that on the way that you want it to be. But that's something that will just come with time. And as long as you're doing those drills thoughtfully and you're not, like, autopiloting through them, It'll come. It'll happen.
Cool.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, just, do you have any tips on how to deal with brushes? I mean, a few of the games that we played with was, like, very glaring that I was having trouble with them, and it's been kind of a bother for me before. I didn't know if you had any tips on that.
Brushes, to a degree, are kind of a mechanical skill check. In that, with most weapons, you can kind of have a shortcut to hitting shots if you just paint their feet. Then they can't, run away from you. They're frozen, and it's as easy as shooting an unmoving target instead of having to shoot a moving target. Brushes take that crutch away from you because they can just run through enemy ink. And so the first thing to start getting used to with trying to shoot brushes is recognizing that, no, they're actually not going to stop moving. Like, they can't just reverse direction on a dime. They have a really good turning radius, but they have to actually turn all the way. So just recognize they're moving fast and lead your shots by a little bit more than you're used to leading your shots. That's one thing. Another is that you also want to recognize that you move more than they do when they're firing. So if they start shooting at you and they're out of range, you're out scot-free. And what that can also mean is that you have the ability to decide, I don't want to fight this brush, and just run away from them. And if you run away from them, unless they've already gotten way too close to you, they can't pursue you, because if they start firing, now they're frozen in place a lot more than you are as you walk forward like this. Like, don't get me wrong, this walk speed is pretty darn slow compared to what other options you have in the game, but this is what a brush can do. Way, way slower. They're basically stationary. There's no shot that they're actually going to track anybody down by doing this as they move toward them. They're better off jumping at you, and that gets them a little bit burst of movement. You can get like a line and a half that way as you're initiating the fight. But that's the most that they've got, and then they're frozen. They're stuck there. And their range is not that good. Octobrush is about equivalent range to the Splash. And so Inkbrush is less range. So you're able to just back up and throw burst bombs at them if you don't want to engage them directly. You can also just kind of recognize what direction they're trying to go in and pre-fire that angle if you want to discourage them from continuing to run at you. And a lot of the time, if you just kind of hold that angle, you'll force the brush to turn around and back up, or they'll run themselves into you. The brush also has much less DPS than you do. So if the brush does get on top of you, best option a lot of the time is just to get your shots on and fire back. Because a lot of the time you might, if you react quickly and react well, you might be able to just splat them before they splat you. Now, their aiming task is easier. So in order to activate that counterplay, you're going to have to be able to reliably aim at them and get shots on almost immediately.
Yeah.
But that is your best option if there's no way to avoid them with movement.
Okay. And then, did you have any, it feels like me and my team sometimes have trouble, closing out games or holding on, when we have a lead. Would you have any tips on, kind of how to close out a game or play defensively, or... Feels like we just get excited and kind of stagger, but...
So there are two components to that. One is mindset focused and one is strategy focused. And what I usually recommend is use the strategy to keep the mindset in check. When something exciting happens in a game, I'm always one of the first players who's trying to calm my teammates down a little bit. Because adrenaline makes your hands shake. Adrenaline does not make you play better for most people. There are some people who can gain, positive psychological momentum from doing really well. But even when that's the case and they're just playing on fire, sometimes you do have to kind of call them back and be like, hey, we still got a game to go. Focus up. We're still here. Still another game of Splatoon. Nothing different. Like, you gotta make them reactivate their Splatoon brain, basically. Like, get them back in the headspace that they normally play in. And to do that, what you want to do is have, you know, whoever your shot caller is especially, or if everyone's kind of trying to adopt that role, then you get on the mic and remind them of what the plan is. Just be like, all right, don't push in, don't feed. Just hold at and then put in, you know, the name of a location where you can reliably get the whole team together to regroup on. So, like, Mako Mart Tower Control, you guys push and get through the second checkpoint, let's say. You know, huge W, but then you get wiped. Tower is going to start to reset, be like, okay, hold it first check. Hold it our first check. And that way, they have an objective. They're not just running on adrenaline brain where half of what they're thinking is taken up by, I'm excited that I just won a fight. And now they're like, okay. Yeah, we did good, but first checkpoint's where we're at. Okay, let's get back to first checkpoint. You know, get their voices to level out a little bit. And from there, you know, again, the goal is to have a plan. Because you need to get your brain thinking Splatoon thoughts instead of thinking we're about to win thoughts. Thinking about winning or losing is the last thing that you want to be thinking about in any situation, because thinking about whether you get the W or the L is not helping you get the W or the L. What helps you get the W or the L is thinking about positioning, thinking about what advantage state you're in, thinking about, you know, keeping your awareness up. When are you going to have special? Is there enough ink at the ground for me to be able to push this? Those are the thoughts that get you to win the game. And thinking about whether you're going to win or lose are not those things. So they're a distraction.
Sure. Cool.
But yeah, when you're playing defense, it is really important to, you know, not go in situations you're not going to win. But it's also really important not to just back all the way up and let them take space for free. Once you do have your whole team back and you are ready to stage a defense, don't just, like, let them keep moving forward all the way up until they're about to take the lead. Like, make them have to win 2 fights to get the lead, if you can help it. That's a mistake that a lot of teams make, where they're just like, just play defense, just stay alive, just play defense, just stay alive. And then they, like, never actually fight back until the enemy team is 10 points from getting lead.
Yeah, and those 10 points go fixed.
Yeah. So you've got to have an awareness of when it is a good time to take a fight and when you're in position and everything, and set yourself up well for that fight. Like, you've got to position yourself to take it and, like, have the specials ready to go and call where you're going to push in from and stuff. But when the time comes and you've got all that set up, like, you've got to pull the trigger at some point. And a lot of teams never actually succeed in calling that and doing that. And then someone gets startled, like, oh, it's time to go, we've got to go, guys, before everyone else is set up, and they go down, and then everyone else is like, oh shoot, well, we don't have time to wait for them, we've got to go in, and, like, you take separate fights and stuff, like. So if you set up when the fight is going to happen in advance, now everyone knows, okay, we're going to fight here, so I don't need to fight now.
Cool. Yeah, I like that idea. And something for everybody to aim at and reconvene around. Good.
Something that my former teammate Reborn often said, which really helped me understand my role, especially as a frontliner, is the question, if not now, when? That is, if I'm not going to push in right now, am I going to have a better chance to push in later? If the answer to that question is yes, wait. If the answer to that question is no, I'm not going to have a better opportunity than I have right now, my team is ready to go as they are going to be, then you call the fight and you take it.
Cool. Yeah, and that's one thing we've been trying to focus on, like, if a fight gets called, like, just being with each other and trying to work more cohesively as a unit.
All right.
Cool.
Anything else you wanted to ask?
No, I think that's good. That was very helpful. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. You have a good one.
Big shout out to Cafe Splat, my team.
Awesome. I think some of them have probably been in the chat, no?
Yeah, I
Awesome.
haven't been looking at it, but yeah, if I have fans, it's probably them.
There you go. Good to have teammates that are fans of you.
Yes, very true.
All right. Well, we'll move on to our next round of VOD reviews then. So thank you for coming on. You're not obligated to stick around. There's probably not going to be much more for you to do. So you have a good day.
Right, you too. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to go get a drink of water, but I'll be right back. What happened to the green screen? Holy moly, that's bad. Can I adjust that and make it any better? There we go. I am now a ghost, but the green screen works. I'll be a ghost. That's fine. Desaturated gem. All right. And hello to someone's gaming channel. I apologize. I don't read I don't read Japanese. So I cannot decipher that, but welcome. Take a second and say hi to Chad as well. Okay, and we do actually have Pink Lemonade here in the VC, but they are muted and deafened at the same time, so I am not sure if they're around. They just got kicked down into the waiting room, so that's not a good sign either. I'll DM them about it, and hopefully we'll get that figured out. All right. Last try here. Hello? Hopefully, fingers crossed, you're able to stick around in here and hear me okay. So they did undeafen, and they have not dropped down into the waiting room, chat. All right, awesome. So, you gave me two replay codes, and we'll only really have time for one on the stream here. Of the two, which would you prefer we go over? Okay. Oop. E5C3. WSKJ. And S5P8. And you should be able to see my screen by clicking on my name in the Discord call and clicking watch stream from there. Awesome. All right. Here we are. We're in solo queue with an Inkbrush. This is honestly not too bad of a comp. It's not like what I'd consider the meta to be, but it's also not bad. This is a map where I could totally see Explo working. You've got the ability to hit up and over stuff, and it paints pretty well, so it's going to be really valuable to have on the zone. Some high painting weapons with some high value specials. Maybe a little bit low on the aggressive side, but also they have an arrow spray, so only so much they're going to be getting out of that either. They also have a midline plus an anchor, so it's all up to the Luna Blaster to make something happen on their side. And also they brought a Luna Blaster to splat zones, so weird comps. It's solo queue, but definitely a very winnable game by the comps at the very least. Oh man, I missed a lot of chat messages there. I'm gonna speed run really quickly through that. Quick question, what makes AoE main weapons valuable in the current meta? They're valuable in general. Like, even when Splash was meta, one of the reasons was the Burst Bomb, which gave it AoE to some degree. Just the ability to hit over ledges, around corners, or something like that lets you power your way through certain choke points that other weapons can't. If Splatoon never existed, what game do you think you'd base your channel on? Probably Melee. I did play that for a very long time. How do you fix mincemeat to make it not horrible? Make it wider and give you more options through mid and more cover. It would take a pretty massive rework to make that stage work. Any tips on setting up a LAN with local people? Get the thing scheduled. Make sure you have the equipment and that the equipment works. Test it before you actually try it. Don't skimp out on any single step of the procedure of setting it up when you test it, because that is the step that will go wrong if you don't test it. Have a plan. Mark it excessively. Like, tell people that it's happening more often than you think is reasonable or polite. And then you might get people to show up. That's kind of how that works. Okay. So, back to the VOD review. See how things start out here. What I'm expecting for you to want to do is to get into annoying positions that force their weapons to look in a different direction than they want to go. It is not your job to paint the zone. It is not your job to be dead center where everyone's going to be looking. It is your job to force people to look in a direction they don't want to look. The job that you're doing right now, where you're just trying to push across the middle of the map, is better done by other weapons. Like, you'd rather have a bunch of different kinds of shooters for this. You'd rather have, like, a wiper for this. Something that's got a little bit... not really a wiper. Wiper is going to be a little bit more of a flanker, but maybe something like a Nautilus could do this a little bit slower. But, like, the brush's job is to make them look away from the thing they're trying to look at. And right now you're on the thing that they're trying to look at. Like, you don't outpaint a short-range shooter. You don't outfight a short-range shooter at range. The way that you get stuff done is by using your mobility. That's what you have that's better than a short-range shooter. That's your advantage. So we want to play to that by moving through places that they don't want to have to deal with. Nice shark there. So, like, that is what you want to be doing, but someplace else. Like, that exact play right there, if you're doing it on one of the extreme flanks, is extremely successful and very annoying to deal with. The problem is that you did that flank on the zone. And you got the player who was on the zone, but then there were immediately 2 more people who were looking directly at you because they realized, oh, hey, there's someone on the zone, and shot you. If you do that from the sides, you get that player, and there's nobody else nearby to trade them back, and you're behind the rest of the enemy team, and you get to kind of shark up to the rest of them, and it's a lot more difficult to deal with. Another advantage of you in particular as an Inkbrush being on the sides of the map is that when you put the brush down and run, and then let off killer whales, those killer whales are hitting people from the sides or from behind, and they're spreading out a lot so that the enemy team has to move really far to avoid them because they're moving really fast toward them. It's a lot harder to avoid when you use the whales from that kind of a position, and they make it easier for the rest of your team to push in. So, standing on the zone and painting it is the job of your wiper and the job of your splash. Standing behind the zone and protecting it is the job of your X-Blow. But your job is to be finding sharks like this in places that those other weapons are not going to be playing, so that the enemy team has to look away from your teammates to look at you. Like, the positioning and the ways that you're taking fights make a lot of sense in general for this game. Like, you're trying to paint the zone when you don't have it, and then when you do have it, you're looking to try and, like, shark and get picks and keep them off the zone. But the problem is that your weapon isn't going to play that typical playstyle, that kind of default playstyle that most weapons are generally going to want to use. Your weapon just doesn't benefit from playing that way in the way that other weapons will. Something that I want you to immediately recognize, even while you're in the air, as you're flying in, is that you are the only player alive on your team. That should really heavily inform what you do as soon as you land here. Probably should have informed whether you jumped in the first place. But once you're here, you want to recognize that, like, there's probably someone watching you because you're the only thing to watch. Okay, so now your whole team is back in. There was, you saw the player who got you went far left, and they're getting close to your teammates over there on the left. So I might have just tried to jump over to them and see if you can help with that, because you have information on that player and your teammates might not. But now that you're here, what you probably want to be doing is, if there's going to be a fight breaking out on the left, you can pinch in from the right a little bit and be annoying and get someone's attention, but then run away and waste the time of some of the enemy players so they don't get involved in that fight and your teammates have a better chance of winning it. I'm glad that you moved further to the left here, because if you were in line with your teammate here, if you were standing right behind J-Man here, and J-Man hits their shots like one shot later, you both just get killed by the same flings of flick. Nice try there. You almost had him. Yeah, this feels like you're playing like a T-Tech. This feels like you're playing like a typical short-range shooter, trying to like poke with bombs and paint your way forward, so that then when you displace someone, you're going to be able to go in and get a fight that you can win. But this weapon is just worse at doing that than the T-Tech is. And what you'd rather be doing, again, is flanking. So here we do kind of need to just paint the zone, even though that's not what our weapon is great at doing. Nice, we get one. Cool. Alright, we find them eventually. You're waving your aim a lot when you're looking at someone. Like, you're starting off the target, moving to the target, moving past the target, and then swinging back and forth like this before you get your aim on. And what you want to work on in the training room when you're working on your aim is you start over here and you just stop right on the target and don't move away from it. Don't move past it. Don't move too like not close enough. Like get to the target and then stop dead. And the stopping dead part is something that you will probably need to take some time to learn. The way to do that is if you're succeeding, then you can, start picking it up and, trying to move around faster and stuff. But the instant you miss it even one time, you stop and slow down more. Take it slower and slower until every single time you're stopping on the target. And only then, once you're consistent at that slower speed, do you speed up again. Been trying to do that with shooters in the lobby. Okay, good. I would also consider just trying to get it with the brush too. Obviously, brush flicks don't always go to the same spot. They go kind of back and forth. But I think there is a lot of value in practicing with the weapon you're playing, so you can get used to the range, you can get used to where the hitboxes go. Watch you demonstrate that in a video? Okay, awesome. Yeah. That would be the one. Just talking about which video it is that he saw me explain that in. So, from here, notice that you're standing right on top of a teammate. You don't want to be standing right on top of a teammate, especially as the brush. You want to be in the most annoying place that you could be for them. Like, you want to be someplace where they're like, ugh, I don't want to have to look there. I want to have to look at I want to be able to just look at the zone and see everybody there. But now I'm having to look here instead. So if you wanted to, like, get some paint down and then drop down into their trench and hide in there and sneak up to the side of them or behind them, that would be more of a brush play. If you wanted to get over on the top left and, like, sneak through that way, like, if you wanted to go all the way around into their base, like, get someplace that they have to look that's not the zone. Because if they can shoot at you and paint the zone at the same time, then it's like you're not even defending it. Yeah, it feels like, it's almost like instead of a T-Tech, we're playing like a V-Junior. We're playing like support, just staying back on the zone and painting it, and only contesting the enemy team by throwing bombs. Oh man, they did not know you had drop roller. That's definitely not guaranteed, but good job getting it when you had it. obviously, the super jump there, not one that you want to be getting in a habit of taking. Okay, so we managed to maneuver our way all the way through the entire enemy team and get back to the zone. And got one along the way. A lot of shots had to be missed for you to be successful in that. Remember that with missiles, the enemy team is able to see you better while they're targeting you. Like, they'll see that ring around you. So, the first thing that should probably have happened here is for this heavy to see you and just laser you down. But what's happening is you're dropping, so you're in the air, which means it'll take longer before you're going to be able to swim and move someplace else. You're dropping, and you're dropping into the middle of this wide open area. There's no cover here to protect you. So, instead of doing this, what you want to do is stay really close to the wall if you're going to drop. Or you want to drop from further back and then swim forward so they don't see you dropping. Because another thing about being airborne is that there's no hiding. It's not like there's ink in the air to swim in. So this is really, really exposed, and that's something that should probably have gotten the heavy's attention. From this angle, you just don't really have the range to hit very much there. I would have actually run all the way around the bunker and come up from behind them instead of trying to hit them from underneath like this. There's another thing about aiming really high up into the air is that you can't see anything in your peripheral vision anymore. Someone could be like almost right next to you and you still wouldn't see them. Then, the way that we retreat from there is not back towards ink that we control. It's deeper into enemy territory where we don't know exactly where everybody is. So, like, that roller should have splatted you 100%. Like, I don't know how that even missed. It might have been a hitbox thing. But we're just seen by too many players with too little to hide in and no teammates pushing up at the same time as us. So what you want to do is, like, get their attention early, but then don't hard commit to being stuck in their base or anything so that your teammates are able to move up and take advantage of them being distracted. That's what you're aiming for. You are once again the only player alive, so you should not, in this moment, expect to be able to hold the zone. Alright, well, when a roller flick and then two Luna Blaster shots both miss you, you get away with it. But that's not something you should ever expect to work, especially on a brush, which is going to have to stand still while it attacks them. I like that you're throwing bombs at them. The fact that they dropped makes them vulnerable. If you run forward in the direction they're going to want to retreat and cut them off, you might be able to catch the heavy without them being able to move. As it is, they just swim right by you, right in front of you there, and they get away. Now they're just going to come up from the left side again. And again, we're standing right on top of our teammates. If that hammer were closer to you, this would be a huge risk to your team, because two of you could go down with a single swing. Like, the whole team is rotating like 3 members in the same direction all at once. There, this is what I wanted you to be doing before. Getting up behind them. Now, we could have taken a little bit longer to collect information there as we moved up, because there were a lot of players in this area, and you just needed to be able to spot them. So let's pause for a second once we get there and talk about your options here. So we already know Hammer's in mid. And from peeking around the corner here, we notice that the heavy has also dropped into mid. So we know that there's at least 2 there. And instead of throwing this bomb, you want to be figuring out where they are and then just walking up right behind them and hitting them in melee range. We go after the Flingza here, but they end up being the furthest player forward for their team. And so now, instead of being behind them and pinching them, we have sandwiched ourselves between the 2 players that just swam in behind and the Flingza who's in front. So now we're probably going to die. Yep. Another thing about, like, trying to stay behind them in that situation is that typically the player who's most vulnerable to being attacked at short range is the one who's going to play the furthest back. So they're the easiest target. Like, that's where your Explos, your Chargers, your Splatlings are going to be, where they're trying to stay away by being that far back because they know if you get on top of them, then they're in trouble. But what ends up happening there is you go after the player who is frontlining because they're the furthest forward on their team, and then the other players get to be sandwiching you. This approach where you put the brush down, run at them, get in range, and then attack is going to get you pre-fired against players with any weapon that's longer ranged than you most of the time. It will definitely be an aggressive play that stops working very often as you rise up through the ranks. So that's something to keep in mind. Good trade. You only just saw them, so you at least get some damage out. Whenever there's a Booyah Bomb, there's no reason not to paint through it and try to neutralize the impact it's having on the zone as much as you can. Because they can't see that you're painting through the Booyah Bomb. You can't see anything through it. They can't see anything through it either. It's a smokescreen. So just put paint inside so that the zone gets less painted over by the Booyah Bomb, and then your team is more likely to hold control once the Booyah Bomb is done. Because now that you've, gone and attacked it after it clears, now they see all of those shots and they were starting to aim at you. Granted, they were starting to aim at you while standing inside an Inkstorm and just taking a bunch of free damage there, so that wasn't the greatest, but that approach, here's a great example of how that approach where you just put the brush down and run straight at them shouldn't work. If that roller hits their flick, then you are downed well before you get anywhere near them here. They got a vertical flick out during that time. So that's the sort of situation there where this should be getting stopped. Alright, and we make it. Able to hold on. I'm going to play a match on Brush. Hopefully there's a zones rotation that's not awful and isn't going to cost me a lot of points. Well, we'll see once we see. But I want to kind of show the general playstyle and give you some different ideas of how to be positioning. How would I do that? What do you mean by that? Sorry, I missed the timing for when you asked that question. Excuse me, when you asked that question. This is fine. I don't know what people run on Brush exactly, but it's probably something. Ninja Squid and swim speed and... Oh, paint where the Booyah is. So just get right outside of the edge of the Booyah's range so you're not going to take damage, and paint inside it. Like, your main weapon shots do not get eaten by a Booyah bomb. Your bombs do, but if you fire shots into where the Booyah bomb is, it's going to paint the area underneath it still. You're going to counteract the paint it's putting down. Alright. Sure. These aren't going to give a ton of opportunities to flank, but there'll be something. First stream, how do we go about getting a VOD review? Hit !Discord in the chat, and that'll give you the Discord link to the Squid School Discord server. And then just DM me, Jem. Should be at the top on the upper right, because I've got the highest role on the server. Oh, we've got 2 brushes. This is unfortunate. Because having too many of these makes it so that your front line suffers. So we might have to play front line a little bit more than we really want to here. But I'm going to keep trying to do what I can. See, so I'm sneaking my way forward here. And fortunately, the E-Leader missed the shot. There's no guarantee that that happens. But you can see that I'm in the way. And these shots are going at me instead of going at people who are on zone. And hopefully we should be able to control them this way. Yes. So we've lost a little bit on the right side. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm going to check it out. In part because my team is already over on the left anyway. And that might be a way to sneak in. So remember that your teammates are also having the same effect for you, where your teammates are something that your opponents are going to be looking at, and so if your opponents happen to be looking at your teammates, that just means you shark your opponents, and you can splat them that way. But if you're standing on top of your teammates, you're never going to be able to benefit from that. Do they see me? They must have seen me somehow. That shot was too targeted. Alright, we lose zones here. I'm just going to see if I can get special here and not die to the leader, which I just saw was aiming. See here, I try to go in by putting the brush down and running at them. They're just going to back up and shoot at me, and there's nothing I can do about that. That's what should happen basically every time you try to approach that way with a brush. It's just not what they're good at. I didn't have a good fight there, so I'm just going to try and stay alive and be annoying. Actually ended up getting one. I don't know what else is happening on the right side. At least we got neutral on the right. Oh, no. We probably lose here. Too much death. Only way that we save this is by covering the zone right now, and then the team coming up absolutely clutch. But, yeah, that was a very tall order. Alright, so Pink Lemonade is typing at the moment, and I will wait for the questions to come through, which I assume are what's coming up. Not a particularly successful endeavor. Part of it is that a lot of the maps in Splatoon 3 are just really narrow, which makes it difficult to find the off angles that the brush likes to play. It's hard to pick a direction that the opponents aren't looking at because they're all the same direction. Anything you can teach me, give tips about positioning with this type of role. So, I mean, we've kind of talked about positioning. Like, maybe what you mean about positioning would be helpful to know, but, like, positioning is where you are on the map. And we've talked about, like, you want to be in the place on the map where they don't want to have to deal with. The place that it takes time to check. The place where it's in the opposite direction of where they're trying to look. Off the objective line. So, like, when I rolled out in that game there, I was trying to move... you know, most of my team was coming out on the right, and I figured that's where the enemy team was most likely to be looking, and I was correct, because the E-Leader was the only player who really saw me coming in, and then when they missed one shot, I was able to get in behind and make a mess of things back there. Low ground, places where you've got ledges to hide behind, just like flanks is what every brush is looking for. You're less opposed to things like grading because you're able to put the brush down and run across them. So things like the Scorch Gorge Bridge are easier to access for you than for other weapons. So that's something to also keep in mind. Like, other weapons will want to avoid grates like the Plague, but a brush, they can sneak over them if they need to. Flanking is just going a different direction than the rest of their team is. Again, the goal is get the opponents to where they have to look in 2 different directions to keep themselves safe. They have to look at one person who's attacking them from one direction, but a different person who's attacking them from another direction. And that's just like military strategy. That's not even a Splatoon term. So here I can just cap the whole zone by putting a bomb down on the back side of it and then painting the front side of it. That guy was trapped in by the Booyah Bomb. Bombs are absolutely something that can be a part of your playstyle. Like, you can, if you don't have an opportunity, just sit back and throw the bombs. And that's why this is one of the best bombs, or the best kits for the brush in the game. Because it has a lethal bomb that it can poke people with. I probably should have just put the brush down and run away from that one, but we still got a lot of value out of that push. I don't know why the team is so backed up here. We had a lot of control earlier. I don't think we needed to really get forced that far back by what they were doing. But we'll get Cap here, and then we'll shove back in. So right now, like, the Charger wants to be looking to the right, but I'm coming in from in front. I'm backing up because I don't know if the opponent is going up over the top left. It looks like they didn't. They just tried to drop out this way, and we bomb over here, and now we're behind them. Like... wherever it is that they're looking, we want to be in the opposite direction of that. So, one of the things that it helps a lot to be able to do as a brush is to look at what your opponents are looking at. Like, if they're looking right, approach from left. If they're looking left, then approach from right. If they're moving right, that probably means that they care most about right and you can come in from left. Just, like, keep a constant eye on where their attention is directed. We'll do one more. We don't have a lot of aggression on this team comp, but at least we got a lot of paint. Okay, good. We get the other map. I was hoping we would get another one so I can show it on a couple of different ones. And something I'm trying to do is use my teammates' paint as much as possible so that I don't have to paint as much myself as I swim forward. And notice I came up from behind them, and that got us a couple of picks. And now this player is forced to look at me. Hopefully teammate figures out a way to get damage on them. Okay, there we go. That took us a little bit too long. We really probably should have had the tent down earlier. But, ooh, this is actually really dangerous because they're all lined up together. So they have to move. That gets one. Hopefully they notice the one on the left. They do. Perfect. It was a good opportunity to use the whale. I just couldn't protect myself while using it as well as I wanted to. And a bomb over here. Okay. That player gets by us, but we get some damage on these. And then back up. We don't want to die. We just want to get them looking the wrong way. And there, like, the hammer is completely wasted. They missed me. They didn't get anything out of it. I guess they... Oh, no, that was a Zuka. Never mind. And they used it in an area of the map that is not helping them contest the zone there. So, the Zuka came up big, and that was the reason that we just, like, randomly lost there, but... I didn't want to get stuck on the wall there. Waiting for my team to be back and ready to go. Oh, crap. Ugh. It's hard to deal with torpedoes. You don't have an insane fire rate, and... Yeah, there we go. We get that. And we don't have a lot of range either, so we have to deal with them at a pretty tight timing window. Notice that I'm, like, getting over to the right first before I pop these, because that makes it more difficult for them to deal with them. They can't just back up. They have to go, like, sideways, which is not what they want to be doing when someone's rushing them from the front. Makes it so that if they back up, they're going to take damage, as opposed to... or if they try to, like, strafe to fight or whatever. I'm not explaining this very well. Oh, I don't like how far back we're playing. Our aerospray is in a pretty dangerous position. Okay, they got a trade, which is more than I typically expect the aerospray to be able to do. Just doesn't have very reliable damage. Got a little bit tunneled on getting the bomb thrown at the blob-lobber there, but fortunately I was able to still win the fight in front of me. And again, notice that I'm like favoring going to this left side, because they don't want to have to look here. They want to be able to just go straight to the zone. But since they have to clear me out first, it takes extra time, and they have to take low ground positions. And there we got him. Unfortunate. We both went down to the tent there. So they probably get the cap here unless my teammates clutch up. We can jump to the beacon, though, and they probably don't see us coming in. Alright. Well, we take those. So I'm marked right now. So I'm not going to move very much, but then as soon as the mark goes up, I'm going to move to the complete opposite end of the map. So now they have no idea that I'm here. They gave me an opportunity to get in here, and so I'm going to take it, but I have to move away. Shoot. Got hit in the back. But they took too long dealing with that, so they're still going to lose. But especially towards the end of the game, when you have the objective, you're scoring, just getting in behind them in annoying places like that means that even if they just completely splat you and you get nothing out of it, they spent 10 seconds of their time running around, you know, chasing you. And that's still annoying. But you'll notice, like, just think, like, how much time in those games did I actually spend on the splat zone? Really wasn't a lot at all. Because that's just not an advantageous position for me to take. I'd rather go someplace where they're not looking, someplace where they're going to have to do something out of their way to get rid of me. And a lot of the time with the brush movement, I can just get out of that situation safely anyway, and now they've wasted time and not gotten me. And that's the gold standard right there for what you want. So, how can I be more aware of my surroundings? You are going to end up focusing on something. Like, there's no way to just stop yourself from focusing and have like perfect peripheral vision of all things that are happening in the game. What you can do, though, is get used to the things that are automatic that you know how to handle without having to think about it too much, so that you don't have to look at those and you can look at something else. Another thing that you can work on is getting certain warning signs, certain what I call alarm bells, to ring in your head when there's something that you need to pay attention to that is like a more immediate threat. If you see ink in like the lower right hand corner that's the wrong color, like way down there at the bottom of the screen, that means that there's an opponent who's like really nearby, like there's a threat over there, and you need to turn and look at that ASAP. And getting to a place where you've trained yourself that when you see that thing on your screen, you automatically forget whatever it was you're doing, break your focus, and react to that instead. That's how you start to train yourself to deal with threats. A third idea to be thinking about is always be thinking, what is the nearest threat? What's the thing that is closest to me that is dangerous to me? And always be positioning relative to that thing until something else becomes a greater threat. So, for example, you're in an engagement with another weapon, and then you notice that there's a charger laser that's starting to form, and it's aiming in your direction. That becomes the bigger threat, and you immediately take cover instead of continuing the engagement. So charger lasers, bombs, specials being launched, especially like someone pops a Trizuka across an open sightline from you, that's dangerous. Any number of these different things that threaten you, if you can see the telltale signs that they're coming, and you train yourself to stop doing whatever you were doing and deal with those instead, that will help you keep yourself safer. But I think a big thing for you individually is that you're putting yourself as, in your positioning in the single spot on the map where everyone on the enemy team is likely to be looking most of the time. And that's going to make it so that, no amount of, awareness is going to allow your weapon to get in if that's where you're putting yourself. You need to put yourself in places where they're incentivized to look someplace else, and then you'll get more opportunities because they're less likely to be looking at you. First time catching a stream live. How's everyone doing? Welcome, Gung Ho Dynamo. Learned so much from your videos, and it helped me with a very stupid challenge I did recently. Use every weapon once in a single sitting. I use tips. Oh, nice. Yeah, I actually need to make some more of those videos. I need to get the Weapon Select series back up to date with the Drizzle season weapons. So that'll be one of the next projects. And I do recommend, Gung Ho Dynamo talking about their challenge that they did where they played each of the weapons. I do recommend playing a few games on every weapon in the game just to see if there are any that you like that you hadn't considered before. And also so that you figure out, what is this weapon's weakness? Like, if I'm having trouble with this weapon, what are other people doing to beat me when I play it? I seem to protect my team and play the objective more than focusing on offense. Don't think I made any sense there, but I try my best. Right? Yeah, if your goal is to protect your team, to protect the objective, you're picking an extremely short-ranged weapon with a pretty poor kill time that can't move very well while it's firing. It has a lot of... it's not, one of the fastest painting weapons in the game either. It's not going to get, high special output unless you're focusing specifically on painting and not on painting for movement. If that is the playstyle you're trying to play, which is fine, this is not the weapon to play with it. If what you're trying to do is flank the enemy team and make them look at you instead of the rest of your team so your team can get stuff going, now you're in the right boat. tried out Tri-Slosher and NZAP 89 before, and those would work better, I think, for what you just described. Tri-Slosher is more similar to the brush. Tri-Slosher is more likely to just run in straight at someone if it gets in range of them, but Tri-Slosher is another weapon that really needs... Like, the hard part of Tri-Slosher isn't winning the fight. The hard part about Tri-Slosher is getting close enough to take the fight in the first place. If it can succeed in doing that, it will win very reliably, or at least trade. But if it can't get into range, now you've got problems. Now it's kind of locked out, and it doesn't have a lot of ways to impact the match. NZAP 89 is much more of a supportive weapon. If you haven't seen, I highly recommend looking up my video on weapon rolls, because the weapons that you're suggesting have a lot of differences, and the ways that you're going to play them are not going to be the same. So figuring out like how the competitive community sees weapon rolls, like what it is you're actually supposed to be doing in the course of a match with any given piece of equipment, I think that would help you out a lot with figuring out what direction you want to go with your weapon pool. Four-star Octobrush user here before the zip damage buff. It just feels slow to me now. I mean, Octobrush, we had Red Shell doing just fine on the Octobrush at Mode Cup. Like, they beat Alliance Rogue in that pickup. That's a really big W. I've got Pink Lemonade typing, so I'm waiting on that question to come through. It's the best way to have more trigger control. I main Tri-Nouveau and use a lot of Fizzy, but I don't have a lot of patience to Shark. When I remember to Shark, it works very nicely. You do need to move fairly quickly to capitalize on opportunities when you're Sharking, because a lot of the time an opponent will just swim by you if you don't, it's not like they're just going to stand around in their ink being like, I'm satisfied being in this position. Like, they're going to move up at some point. So you do need to pick your fight pretty soon, but it helps a lot to anticipate where they're moving so that you take the fight when their back is to you. You take the fight when they're committing to something so that you know they're going to be standing relatively still. And you always, when you've anticipated where they're going, that gives you a better understanding of when to time your attack. Also very important to know where they're going so that you aim correctly, so that when the time comes to take the shots, you've already got your reticle in the right spot. I always play too aggressively. Any weapons I should pick that would help me control my useless aggression? So, aggression, like playing too aggressively, is a problem of awareness. Like, the root of that problem is not, I am too aggressive as a player. It's, I am not recognizing when it's unsafe to be aggressive. Because if you can get away with being aggressive, that's absolutely the right play. Every time. It's when you are being aggressive and there's danger that outweighs the value of the risk you're taking. The risk reward isn't there for you. That's when you need to not go aggressive. So what you need to really be looking for is, when is it not safe? When am I just getting splatted for this? What are some telltale signs? The ground's not painted. I'm dropping off a ledge. There's an E-liter charging a shot. There's a bomb down there. Like, those are things that need to interrupt your thought process and stop you from being aggressive, and that's when you're going to be aggressive successfully. Okay, so Pink Lemonade is asking for a brief summary. So the number one thing is that the brush is not well designed to be pushing from the front, from where the enemy team is looking. You need to push with the brush from the directions they're not looking, the directions they don't want to look at. So put yourself in the opponent's shoes and think, where is the most annoying spot that I can reasonably get to where I can be to contest them, so that they have to look away from whatever it is that they're trying to deal with instead. And that's where you want to be playing. That's the biggest thing with the brush in particular. For you, I mean, I don't know. Everything that I saw is in the lens of you're playing a brush. But, for example, like, a lot of your bomb placement is pretty good. A lot of your thinking about when to take a fight and when not to is pretty good. Except for with the exception of, like, the brush, you're trying to, like, brush forward at them and then stop and then brush at them. That, like I said, is not going to be very successful. But if you want to play the way that you were playing, you're playing more of a supportive play style, probably. Playing something like an NZAP would maybe be a good idea to try, like an NZAP 85. Get the coolers out and keep paint on the zone. But the brush needs to be up off the zone. It needs to be pulling attention away from the zone. It needs to be drawing aggro someplace else. The Tri-Slosher is more of a slaying weapon. It's going to try and shark people and, you know, get good trades, or it's going to try and use its inkjet to accelerate a push faster. When the go button gets pressed, when the whole team is running in, the Tri-Slosher just kind of holds forward, takes the first fight that it can get in range for, and tries to trade it or win it as best it can. Very aggressive. Less of a painting weapon. The brush is going to be more of the weapon that, like, initiates those fights, while the Tri-Slosher is going to be more of the weapon that finishes those fights. So, going back to the other weapons that you were considering playing. Those would be the big things that I would say. Really wonder how power is calculated. Does Anarchy rank matter when doing X rank calculations? Does past seasons matter? So it's based on the Glico 2 system, which is a known algorithm. You can go and look up the math on Wikipedia if you want to. The way that it's adapted to Splatoon in particular is a little bit more difficult to understand, but there are data miners who have dug things up about it. And so like Oatmeal Dome did a really good essay on it on the Splatoon 2 system. There are some differences between Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3, but you can go and kind of get a sense of what the differences are by reading that. All right. I am going to call it there for the stream. I've got to get going. But thank you, everybody, for watching. We are going to go and we're going to raid to another Splatoon player who's... I don't have the right screen up, so I need to figure out who I can raid. We are going to raid... Oh, we've got some options. Let's go and raid Barry. Barry looks like he's playing some solo queue. Barry is a really solid backline player. Charger player, has hit like 2,800 or 2,900 X powers. Plays for a team called Element R. And would be great to ask questions of if you are a backliner, because I am not. So he's going to be more knowledgeable on those kinds of questions for sure. Thanks everybody for watching, and y'all have a wonderful evening.